You know, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
It is. It's a fantastic idea. We're the only people that read emails. The Toucher and Hardy email bit is powered by Jeffrey Glassman. Injury lawyers are good friends. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email, dummy. Call all sevens at 617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com. We got an email from someone who does not want to be named. They're not saying anything controversial, but fine. I don't know them, but it's interesting because they're right, and it's really sad. And they turn out to be right. I've done my research.
Oh, no.
It says, don't mention my name. I don't know why. This is no thing. I can't believe you guys haven't mentioned your guy. I can't believe you haven't mentioned your guy, Pablo, since he did a brief dive into the Vrabel-Rossini affair. If you did, I missed it, and I'm sorry. We did not. You've missed nothing, believe me. He didn't have a lot on it, but the one interesting nugget was that the day they spent hanging at the pool was actually with a handful of other coaches and wives. That part in her email is incorrect. I'll get to it. Allegedly, Rossini was trying to host her own party to compete with Jay Glazer's annual day drinking with the coaches poolside party. I personally think that's why she and Mike felt like they could get away with their story that they were with others. Obviously, that was still misguided and a bad move since that wasn't the whole truth and the other pictures came out. But I wonder if the pool pics were the only photos shown to Rossini when the post came knocking on her door. Again, really bad move to handle how they did. Very arrogant. So I looked into it, and it is absolutely true. This is from SI. According to Tori, Rossini was hosting a pool party on the opposite side of the Biltmore Hotel pool from where Fox's Jay Glazer was hosting what he called the 18th NFL head coach's day drinking day at the NFL owners' meetings. Mm-hmm. In the caption of the video Glazer posted, he noted 28 of the 32 head coaches were there. One of the coaches not seen in the video was Vrabel. Tori also reveals that Rossini and Vrabel were the topic of conversation at Glazer's party. It's just sad that she did this party, perhaps in a ruse just to have sex with Mike Vrabel. This is a quote. Now, the thing that happened that day at the pool, March 31st, 2026, at the Biltmore, is that all of these head coaches across the pool and their wives, I am told, started talking about Vrabel and Rossini. Tori told David Simpson on his podcast. Was it Tori or David Simpson? Hopefully it's Tori's podcast, because now it's getting so intertangled. And this was days before the photos broke in the New York Post, which is to say, also a thing I found out was that their friendship was not breaking news to the people at the NFL owners' meetings. They all knew that, in fact, they were out front together at this other competing aspirational party. I can tell you that part of what the game is, said Tori, that Diana Rossini was trying to play was, what if I do the thing Jay Glazer does quite successfully? How can I build my own party? Now it's just sad.
We don't.
Everyone's had a party, I hope, where not as many people showed up as you thought were going to show up. I certainly have. Mm-hmm. There's one day in general that my roommate and I in Atlanta bought a keg, and like 2 people showed up. Oh. And we had this huge keg. There's nothing more depressing than that keg. And it's real symbol of your failure as it just sits there in melted ice, just bobbing up and down as a sense of there's still plenty left. You could have 2 more parties, and I'm still going to be full. But the idea that she was trying to throw a party and one coach came. The part that the email got wrong is that, like, some coaches were there. It doesn't sound like any coaches were there except for Vrabel.
And I thought those were like 2 different dates. I didn't think there was that. So Jay Glazer's pool party happened on the same day that they were at the place in Arizona?
I guess. I mean, I've seen pictures of the Glazer thing and all the coaches around a big table. But
it's awesome.
It's also really lame that you would say, like, oh, Jay Glazer, he's an established NFL guy and he does a pool party. I'm going to do a pool party too.
Yeah,
do something else.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's kind of depressing, and it's only depressing because I've been there, not having an opposing party. But it's like if you know Johnny's bar mitzvah is on the 26th, and you don't put your kid's bar mitzvah on the 26th. Let Johnny have his day.
Well,
Johnny was bar mitzvah. It's recently that he's turned his back on Judaism.
I got an email early this morning because they've been talking about this for days, weeks, maybe on the Ben Maller show about his meet and greet and where it's taking place. Will the Toucher and Hardy show be in attendance? And there was some discussion of it on the National Ben Maller show last night and this morning. And Ben Maller kept saying, Fred's not coming. Fred wouldn't do that. No, nobody is going there. And the caller was like, well, Joe Murray's going to go. But I absolutely would go. But number one, I believe the meet and greet is in Worcester.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
And I do have that Derby party to attend.
Yes, I believe he's throwing out the first pitch at the Woo Sox game.
Oh, I've done that.
And and then, we got the Celtics tomorrow night. So
there's a lot going on.
Honestly, if it were happening like closer and it were game one of Celtics Knicks, I would just record it and I would go to the Ben Maller thing just to meet Ben.
Well, I listen to Ben Maller all the time. He's on before us in the mornings. He's the only overnight show we've ever had leading into us that wasn't a disgrace. Now, Fred, what are you saying? Everything's bad. No, a disgrace. Amy Lawrence is just awful. And then we had some weird Christian guy before that.
That's John's friend, Amy Lawrence.
Not anymore.
Don't say that.
I ruined that.
That was Houston. I
torpedoed that whole
big
friendship.
old hole in that relationship.
I mean, she'll be on Mad Dog sometimes, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Not guest hosting.
Not for Mad Dog. No.
No, but she's on.
But she'll
she
be
has a
on.
show on Mad Dog Radio.
Like sometimes, like early morning weekends, she'll be on. And you're just like, oh, my God.
Does he give her the typical guest treatment? She's like, yeah, that's good. Talk about that. Go.
No,
you're doing great. Go.
Mad Dog's not on. Mad Dog is the sports channel that Mad Dog hosts a show on.
She's on the channel.
She's on the channel. So they're 24-hour sports talk. But they, like on the weekends, she'll do like a show. And so does that guy who's worse than her.
Robin Lundberg,
I just feel bad for because it's like the worst job for him. Someone should have told my son, who doesn't listen to two words out of my mouth or the radio in any form, audio, words. He doesn't like words. When Robin Lundberg was on, he goes, what is this? This is the worst radio host I've ever heard.
Yes.
And now he always goes, is that guy on? I want to hear that guy.
He was co-hosting with Golick's kid. That was our lead-in for a while.
No. That was on ESPN.
No, but I'm telling you, I thought for sure for a period of time, he and Golick Jr. had the show on before ours.
Oh, that might. I thought that they were on ESPN radio.
They were on ESPN radio, but I think we had them at some point.
We had some when we first started. There was a syndicated overnight show with a lunatic Christian guy.
That's right.
Not all Christians are lunatics. Save it. No, a real lunatic, like major breakdowns in his life, and he had a. Remember, John?
Yes.
He did this thing where he had like a pre-taped. Where he had a caller on that had been in Nam, and they're playing like majestic like hero music over it.
Yeah,
and the names and listen, the guy was in Nam.
Ted Sarandis,
but the the names that he was using for the Vietnamese.
It's a good
were highly inappropriate in this day and age.
Oh God! Oh,
yeah.
So the caller was recounting his time in Vietnam.
I
Yes.
believe it was I believe it was pre-taped because to my recollection, there was like heroic music under it.
This guy was positive thoughts through sports or something.
But it's also a little exploitive that he just had some random guy that happened to be in Vietnam, like going on and on about Vietnam, and then like positioning it as if he was some sort of hero by having this guy on. Like that's exploitive in my opinion.
Yeah.
And not valuable to the people that were in Vietnam or anything. But anyway, the point of it is he's spraying around words for the Vietnamese, which I'm sure him and the guys that were in Vietnam do. But he was doing it on the radio, which if you're the guy from Nam, I know, big deal. But if you're the lunatic host.
Tough to put that on the airwaves. Yeah.
But yeah, remember, John? It was like
he had all sorts of
positivity through sports.
But I mean, he had some fascination with the Clemson football team. That was a couple of weeks.
He went to a Clemson game.
Oh God!
And for like a month, he talked about going to the Clemson game in great detail.
Yeah, because
nothing happened.
He got out of the house.
No, it got
to him that was a big happening.
But then there was a story about how he kind of locked himself in his closet and made peanut butter sandwiches and ate them in there.
Yeah, he had a mental
it was really
breakdown.
something.
He was like a big drug addict or something.
Yeah.
He found God and then he got sober. But
everyone in the back is saying that the Ben Maller meet and greet is next weekend.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. So
I would like to meet Ben Maller, but I don't want to go to a meet and greet.
You're sure? All right. It's not this weekend.
All right.
I guess it's in honor of a caller. They're going to Worcester in honor of a caller of his in like a Feinbaum kind of way. He has these callers that he becomes in a way close to. And this guy was a caller that had passed away that always wanted him to come to Worcester. So I guess they're going to this Woo Sox game. And Ben Maurer's been very open. If it's not a good game, or maybe if it is a good game, maybe not 9 innings. Maybe they duck out of there before the 9 innings are over.
Apparently, it's 2 nights. I see here 2 nights.
It's a
Friday, Saturday.
And the Woo Sox are a good product.
Yes,
and it's
ballpark's
a beautiful
really nice.
ballpark.
Yep.
I'm not saying anything about going to a Woo Sox game. I would highly encourage it. It's a much cheaper option. But I don't know about if you're having like a big, huge affair.
You going on Sunday?
To the Red Sox game, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I got my tickets, John, for $101 a ticket. StubHub has done something where they do not charge nearly as much in service fees as they used to. So
good stuff.
The tickets, $101 a piece. Visiting dugout. We're in a good place.
What row?
I don't know. Oh. It doesn't matter. I know what section I'm in.
Matters to John. He wants to know.
I don't know. I could tell you off the air, or I could tell you on the air in the next break.
Okay. Let's do that.
But then I'll be mobbed. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
I know. No, you don't know.
Everyone agrees that I'm the only one who's not wrong.
Right or wrong, they're back. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
I'll play this tonight. So, like I said, every series is different. Game 7, so going back to home and gotta get done.
I take it that's Peyton Pritchard. You can tell that he's from Oregon. We are, or wherever the hell he's from. We are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube, 98.5. Or just subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. We can do a bit of a potpourri now. I have something Patriots related that won't dominate the segment, and obviously the Celtics lost last night in Game 7 is tomorrow, and John insists on this, talking about the Bruins, which I don't have a problem with. But I do want to start with this. The Athletic has an interesting article, and it's post-draft, but it's not grading drafts or anything like that. What they did is they talked to front office people around the league about the various teams' drafts and how that affects the outcome of, in their opinion, for next season. And I will start reading you the first front office person's take on the Patriots post-draft. They overachieved last season against a historically easy schedule. Vrabel wins Coach of the Year. They beat a backup quarterback on the road and go to the Super Bowl. They got demolished in the Super Bowl, but everyone comes out of there feeling like they got the coach and the quarterback, and they're ahead of things. But now they play a first-place schedule. They play the NFC North. Buffalo could be better, and they're bound to make some coaching-related mistakes, which naturally occur. And now people are saying the coach is not all in. He's not focused. This took a toll. The exec said, while that may or not be true, that's going to be the perception, so it's really going to be tough for him this year, which is true. I don't know if they're going to struggle on the field, but if they do, I mean, we all know their schedule was historically bad last year. We all know their schedule is really difficult this year.
Yeah, what did that guy say that was wrong?
No, I mean, the thing is, though, if they do, the chances of them winning as many games this year as last year is very small. The chances of them going to the Super Bowl last year were even smaller, so anything can happen. So I'm not killing the team in May after they made the Super Bowl. But my point is this, is if they start to lose a little bit, even if they end up winning like 11 games, if they start losing a little bit in there and they lose like 2 in a row, all the attention, what's unfortunate about this for Vrabel, because it really only affects him, is that all the focus is going to be on you are not winning because of the fallout of your affair.
That's true, but I mean, they are going to lose a little. They're going to lose back-to-back games this year. It's going to happen.
But we also said that they were not going to make the playoffs, and we were very certain about a lot of things. I want to be careful about how certain I am about things going into next season.
All right, so it depends on a couple of things. Number one, if this story manages to, evolve at all, or there's anything else over the next few months. And if there's even just a thing or two here or there, then yeah, that's going to be on the table. I think it also depends on if they lose, how they lose. Is it defensive breakdowns? Is it things that we would look to Mike Vrabel for? It's like, well, that's more on him.
Mental errors.
Than Drake May having a setback season. Is it obvious coaching decisions that he's making? It's like, oh, well, the guy's head's not in it, obviously. But if they're just going up against better teams, Fred, and they don't have the weapons again, and there's a chance they may not have enough weapon-wise. I mean, the roster's not complete yet. If it happens that way, yeah, there'll be a couple of voices talking about how he was distracted for a portion of this year, but it won't be as bad as it would be if there are things that you can directly point to and say, well, this story just popped again, and now he's got this, and now look at, his head's not in it. Mm-hmm. I think it would depend a lot on how the games are being lost.
But that's a level of analysis that I just don't think is going to take place. I mean, you're being logical.
Well, not in your head, but from me, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah,
to think for you.
Sometimes you overthink, though. You're too involved in the all-22. And then they move on to the draft. This is a different executive. I actually like that tackle, the kid that they took at 28.
Yeah.
Another exec said he's a little soft, but I think he has a lot of upside. He's really athletic. We weren't big on Gabe Jacas.
Akis.
Of course.
J is silent.
Right.
It is.
I know. Well, no kidding, John. Like, I don't. No, you're a liar.
Yeah.
That was my issue with it. Was you saying it?
I believe you. And
Gabe Akis.
Well, have fun with that, everyone who has to talk about the Patriots next year. We weren't big on Akis, the defensive end from Illinois. Other than that, nothing really stood out from them, which is funny because I've heard people were very high on Akis. I don't know. It's the draft. I mean, everyone's. Vrabel didn't miss much on the last day, they're saying, by not being there. More than half the draft happens on the last day, so that's not the day to miss, another draft says. So people are split on whether he should have been there on Saturday.
So far, I mean,
I'll just fall down on the side of, yeah, you should have been there. You're the ultimate decider. Or not should have, but would it be better if he were there? Yeah. Why is that so difficult to say out loud?
No, it's not. I guess I don't think the debate was whether he should have been there. It was the effect of him not being there, I guess, is what's being debated. So there you go. I mean, thank God for this affair, huh? A little juice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kidding. But it is interesting because, look, this isn't going to be a story forever, but it's going to be a story this year. Like, it's not going away this summer. Like, it won't be talked about every day, but it's not going away this summer. And the final thing I'll say about it is, I'll repeat what I said to Bert, is being in media for a while. If you're Diana Rossini right now, apparently she's in a very just like kind of shell-shocked mode, as you would be. I mean, she's being talked about internationally for having an affair. She's taken down all her social media and stuff like that. The thing is that if she's only been a media figure, right, or a journalist. So if she wants to continue a career in media, it's of course possible and very likely if she wants to. If she wants to just protect her kids and not do any of this stuff, then there's really not much of an option. She's not going to be an insider again or anything like that, any kind of reporter. But if she wanted to have a career in media, the OnlyFans, no. If she wanted to have a career in media, the way to do it would be let some time go by, then you come out, you do like call her daddy or something like that. You talk about everything that's going on, you talk about the effect, but in order to have this all happen, you have to talk about your affair with Vrabel.
There's no other way around it, or people are just going to say the whole thing is pointless.
Right, and then you can become a personality that's kind of sports light, like sports adjacent, which there's a massive market for. There's more than enough jobs to go around, and you become that. She's never going to be more famous than she is right now, which is, attractive if you're a media company. Yeah. Like, the affair isn't. People have overcome way worse. Thousands and thousands of famous people have overcome way worse stuff than having an affair. But she's going to have to come out, and she's going to have to be open about it. And if you're Vrabel, there's no incentive to be open about it. You just have to kind of put your head down and get through it. And just knowing itching in the back of your head that there's a chance that the person you're having an affair with, she's not going to badmouth them, but she'll talk about the dichotomy of what happened to her and the fallout in losing her job and all the fallout from her versus the fallout for him. And that's part of the narrative too. But if I'm her, I'm not being overly combative about that. I'm being more like a confessional kind of, and then making fun of the fallout almost. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like having fun with how ludicrous media is now and things like that.
It's tough, though, because you say, Fred, like right now she's got, this level of fame and notoriety that is attractive to media companies. But there is no way it sounds like she is, nor would I expect her to be ready to tackle this from the standpoint of admitting to it, talking about it, having some self-depreciating commentary about it. Like that's far down the road. And will it be so far down the road that all this notoriety and fame have worn off?
Look, I don't think she's going to be a movie star, but I think that she could have a very, at least for a time, lucrative media career. And she doesn't have to, cheapen herself to do it. It's just she won't be reporting on the NFL as a reporter.
What do the people in Minnesota do if they don't have her podcast to hang on this offseason? Like we were told they all did last year.
Yeah, she had some podcast that she insisted was popular. Just like everyone else. Everyone has a podcast and they're all popular.
That's right.
There's many podcasts as there are people on the planet, yet all these podcasts have everyone listening to them.
Right.
It's mathematically impossible. There has to be. They should make microphone companies like send you a demo tape in before they'll sell you one.
They should make microphones cost $100,000. You're serious about this?
No, because it didn't cost us $100,000 to go into the business because no one was going to pay us $100,000 in any industry.
We didn't have to buy the mics.
What I'm saying is that you got to earn the mic. At least impress somebody before you start babbling into it. Because the only thing with having a podcast that no one listens to if you're famous is that if you say something controversial, that's going to pop. And it's not going to drive people to your podcast. It's going to drive people to the people that are playing the clip of your podcast.
The YouTube clips or whatever you get.
We play stuff from athletes' podcasts all the time. In fact, we probably did this week, and I couldn't tell you the name of one of them or who did them even.
That's the thing. Cam Newton has been the blueprint for this. Anyone know the name of Cam Newton's podcast?
No.
That's the point.
Yeah, and the ones that really do deserve it, though, I'm more than happy to drive people to, like Pablo Torre. Now, Now that's, but that guy's like an already an established journalist and he knows what he's doing.
But the point is this, is that, there are good podcasts. There are great podcasts. But let's go nuts and say there's 50 of them. And there's 100 million podcasts.
Let's overshoot it by 20 or 30.
Great podcasts? Yeah. I mean, in 1990, how many great radio shows were there? 4? So, I'm giving them a lot, 50. But there's 100 million podcasts, and there's 50 good ones. It's enough. It's too much. It's annoying, and selfishly, it's annoying. It's annoying. You don't have to work in Cumming, Georgia and everything. You don't have to move around. It pisses me off.
You don't have to do the swap shop.
I did the swap shop once, and they wouldn't let me do it again.
That's right. You only did it. I did it for 6 months at least.
Well, they kicked me off of it.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't taking it seriously.
But of things to come.
Diamond.
Oh.
Yes.
Hello, Diamond. Is that your real name?
Diamond is a nickname.
Okay.
Ooh,
Okay.
You're bejeweled right now?
Right as of now, no, unless I'm going out.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Diamond. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm calling about the Mike Vrabel situation with Diana Rossini. So I find that I don't like to bring the race issue, but
black is because he's black.
No, I mean, but what you call it? Ime Udoka got fired because he had an inappropriate relationship with a worker. Then
but it was a coworker. Maybe it is because he's black, but I'll tell you this: is that it's because it was with a coworker, and the guy at Michigan was because he pulled a butter knife out and said that he was going to slit his wrist. But also he did stuff before that too. Who did the guy from Michigan have sex with?
One of the members on the staff.
So that's the difference.
Yeah.
Diamond is in Diamond. I do not doubt your abilities of seduction. You have quite the pipes on you. But listen, maybe it's because they're black. I don't know. But the argument could be made. I'm not here to tell you why they were fired. But the argument could be made is because it's an HR situation because they had sex with someone working for the same company. That's what they would tell you. But maybe it's because they're black. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. But that would be the argument, correct? Is that they would say that they were inappropriate.
Yes. In the case of Ime, it really ran afoul of people in the organization. They did not like the amount of upset that it brought to the team. You could argue with Mike Vrabel, well, this has been a distraction, but in what way did it upset the team? In what way did it hurt anyone else in the building or the job that they're doing?
Yeah, unless you're like a television evangelist or something, and even then they don't really have to pay a price. A affair is an affair. Like, who loses their job because of an affair? Unless you're like some moral bastion of, or you have some never get divorced podcast. I don't really know how having the affair should affect you professionally at all.
Is that why you keep touting the benefits of divorce? Are you starting
I'm not touting the benefits of divorce. In all seriousness, I do think that people like feel this kind of like that they're doomed if they get divorced. I'm actually trying to kind of be helpful. If you're in a situation that you feel is untenable, it's scary to get divorced and it's expensive and there's like a lot of downside to it. But on the other end, as you live the rest of your life, I can tell you from my experience, it's not all bad. Like there's being in a relationship with, and I get along, as you know, extremely well with my ex-wife, and I always respect her and I'll love her because of, my relationship with her and the kids. I mean, I do love my ex-wife. She's phenomenal, but we don't need to live together or be married. And that's been, and I'm just telling you that's possible.
And I'm just telling you, I'm going to check and see if the Upside to Divorce name has already been taken by a podcast.
Thank you. Because I'm not running around going like, oh my God, you get laid and da-da-da-da-da. I'm just saying that it's like, sometimes it's, if there's something hanging over the relationship, that by getting, separating in that way, you can restore a different kind of relationship, and then you can go off and live your life in the way that you want to. Sean from Montana, you're changing the subject to something irrelevant like the Celtics. Sean, go ahead. Go ahead, Sean.
Hello, yes, and I just wanted to make sure you guys got your point across right there. Thanks for taking my call, and great show as always. I'm really angry with the Celtics, like we all are. The point is, you're up 3-1. We were in control of this series. I called it Celtics in 5. But to lose Game 5 and lose Game 6 is completely unacceptable. You should be able to wrap that series up in 5. I wanted it done in 5. Now, here's the way I look at it with series. If you're up 3-1, you should be able to finish them off in 5. Because if you don't, you're giving the team a little bit of momentum if they win Game 5. And Philly now has a bit of momentum. The Celtics' problem is they can't make their free throws. That's despicable that you can't make – I mean, Jaylen Brown, I can't trust him at all. I think he's the worst free throw shooter right now because he was, 2 for 6. Tatum missed free throws. The 3-ball, I've always said this with the Celtics, okay, and you might agree or disagree. You're not going to win games if you literally just chuck from 3 and just pray for the 3 to go in. bomb three is what I call it, because it's like you need to learn to attack the paint and take the ball to the basket. I understand the NBA today is like a three ball, but for crying out loud, go to the basket and stop the excuses of just chucking up threes and think that that's going to go in, because you know what? If you shoot too many threes, that's going to hurt the team a lot.
Yeah, but they won a championship shooting threes.
They are one of the most efficient offenses in the entire NBA, and they did it by shooting threes. They had a bunch of guys who are good at it until the last two games. Now none of them are.
The better argument is you need to be able to pivot if that's not working.
True.
And not pivot in an organizational, the way that you go about playing, but like if in game, it would seem that you would make an adjustment. You would say, this isn't working tonight, and we're in a playoff series where we got to win. Perhaps we should be able to counter whatever Philadelphia is doing, or to make up for our lack of precision.
There are only three guys really on the roster that can do this. And Tatum goes to the basket too, but guys that have been ultra aggressive. Pritchard has turned himself into a guy who can go to the basket. Derek White's pretty good at it too. He's got that nice little floater in the lane. And Jaylen Brown is the guy who's best at it. And if Jaylen Brown isn't getting to the basket, and he wasn't last night, Paul George bodied him out of there, they're in a lot of trouble. But as far as shooting threes, I mean, if this guy is any kind of Celtic fan, he's watched it now for 4 years.
Yeah,
this shouldn't be shocking to him.
It works. It just, if it's not working on that particular evening, you should be able to pivot, it seems. Now, John, I have one question for you because you're Mr. Basketball. What former player and coach has suggested the NBA getting rid of the three-point line?
It's not Steve Kerr, is it? No.
It is Steve Kerr.
Yeah, Steve Kerr.
Steve Kerr, who made his living
shooting threes.
Do you know he's like
that's the best three-point shooter in the history of the game.
He was like 48%.
Yeah.
No, Kerr is the best percentage-wise three-point shooter of all time.
Yep.
He's something like 48. He made like half of the threes he took. That's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if he was on the Celtics.
Yeah.
If Steve Kerr was on the Celtics and shot 48% from three, how many points a game do you think he'd put up?
Boy,
he'd be the third option or the fourth option. But
if he's coming off the bench, he averages 15 or 20 a game. If he starts, it would be more.
Yeah, he'd probably be like the Pritchard on the count of White. But,
sure,
not White the player, the skin color White.
Sure.
White. All right.
Right.
We'll be back in just a moment with the email.
We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. All right. Hardy, as we ease on into the weekend, my parents are coming into town, and they're only staying till a week from Saturday. They're not staying with me.
Just a quick in and out.
They're not staying with me because of stairs.
I was going to ask about that.
Well, they're 84.
Yeah,
I mean, they can't be going up. I don't want them going up and down the stairs. But I'm leaving for Detroit with my daughter next Friday. I'm doing the show, but like next Friday we're seeing Bruno Mars. And my daughter informed me while I looked for the tickets on my phone that I had yet to buy the tickets to Bruno Mars, which was smart, actually. By
the way, Beetle filling us in on the Vrabel situation. I don't know if you knew this, but Beetle has been following the Vrabel Rossini story.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Him needling Zolak has been fantastic.
About the pool party, the dueling pool parties, he said, no, entirely different days. Sedona was before they went to the owners' meeting where the Glazer party happened. The days in Sedona were the days that filled the gap between Vrabel's pro day visit at Arizona State and the start of the owners' meetings a few days later back in Phoenix.
Oh, good information.
It is.
So she was having a competing party, but before she was trying to preempt the Glazer party. But maybe it was also just a ruse to be alone with Mike Vrabel.
Or she hosted another separate party when Glazer's party was going on. I thought that's what I had read.
Bertrand's probably right. It was just a competing party, but she tried to get in a couple days beforehand.
Maybe. Okay. Things for Adam 12 this weekend?
Delightful.
How about this one, 12? The 48th Wake Up the Earth Fest.
Wake up, Earth.
Come join the movement that stopped the highway. 48th annual Wake Up the Earth Festival celebration community is Roxbury, Jamaica Plain, stopping the raised highway from destroying their neighborhoods. This is when they were going to take put the 95 connected on a straight line from where it now stops where I am in Canton.
Right.
And it was going to just be a beeline through all those neighborhoods in Boston to pick up where it now continues. So all-day music and dance performances, public and interactive art.
I wonder if there'll be any grounding.
Molecular structure of your like cells.
You know, maybe I'll run into lift shats.
That's at the Stony Brook Orange Line T-stop, should you choose to attend.
Yeah, when they were building the interstates, that was a big thing. They would go, black neighborhood, see you later.
Right.
We're just going to lay the freeway right through them. Yeah, they did that in Detroit.
This is something that I would attend for the delicious and festive celebration that is the Greek Orthodox Church Euro Festival.
Yes.
Euro Festival.
Any Greek Church festival is worth attending just for the food.
Rossi. I don't remember this taking place when I lived in Rossi. 11 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Oh, wow.
Full day of Greek food, culture, community.
We're closing streets down for this?
Of
Eating
course.
and dancing. Can't get enough.
Nice.
So it's at the Greek Orthodox Church at the corner of Robert and Belgrade Ave in Rossi. I think maybe this was going on, but it's free to get in, 12. That's the good news for you.
And then you got money left over to buy all that good food. I'm actually heading up to Rochester, New Hampshire tomorrow for Free Comic Book Day. The first Saturday in May every year is Free Comic Book Day at your local comic book shop. And my favorite comic book shop is Jetpack Comics in Rochester, New Hampshire. So
you're driving to New Hampshire to get a free comic book?
$4 a tank?
A bunch of
Where? How long a drive is that for
Rochester? It's like an hour. I love
That's
it.
all.
I got a bunch of friends up
for
there,
free comic
hang
books.
out, drink some beer.
What's in your
They
stack,
do a
big
whole
guy?
They do a whole fest. That's right. They do a whole festival.
I mean, you should see the women.
I'll text Adolfo and we can talk about our free comic books.
My friend Jerry Stasnopoulos had a super hot sister, and when she was at Michigan State, she got a fiance like right after they graduated, and he had to convert to Greek Orthodox. Not an easy process. Not an easy process.
Well, you have to ask him to fast track it.
You got to wear onions and garlic around your neck, like Kramer. But yeah, I mean, it was a whole boy. Oh boy, that guy really. They got to still be married.
What did he like?